Yo, what up? Ryan Lee here, the Aspiring Saint, back with another video. Yeah. So, as you can see in the title, in this video, I will be giving my review of the new Travis Scott album, Utopia, as well as giving a little story time. So, yeah. To start things off, I'll say that in the past and to a certain degree currently, I was a huge Travis Scott fan. Loved all his work. I listened to Rodeo, Birds in the Trap, Astro World, all of it. I loved it. And I came to Christ in 2021 in like September. And that was like a month or like 2 months before the whole Astro World tragedy. So, when the Astro World tragedy happened, I was shocked. Not really, but like I was disappointed and disheartened by the whole situation, especially as a new Christian, because it was like, I kind of, the controversy about the whole thing was like, it was like some sort of satanic ritual, some sort of sacrifice ritual. And I personally do believe that. I believe that's a real thing. I think that those artists actually do that kind of stuff, some Illuminati stuff. I believe that stuff is real. So I was upset. I didn't like that. That sucked, man. That sucked to see Travis doing that and sacrificing people. But but anyway, I saw that and I was upset, But like, I was one of those Travis fans that was waiting on Utopia for a while, so I kind of knew that whenever this album came out, I was going to end up listening to it, which I did. So here's a disclaimer. I would be lying if I said that I didn't listen to it. I would be lying if I said that I didn't enjoy it to a certain degree. And now, to preface all of this, I do not promote this album. I do not promote that it's not really good for anybody to listen to, but especially not any Christians, and especially not any baby Christians. I do not promote the album, and I don't think that you should be listening to it. So yeah, I just wanted to let that be known, about the whole thing. One of the things that I've been having trouble with as a new Christian is giving up music. I love music. I love all kind of music. I like Christian music, some Christian music, certain artists, but I do like music, and to a certain degree, it's hard for me to give up secular music. So I just wanted to let that kind of be known, that that's something that that's a challenge for me as a new Christian. So I wanted to let all that be known, say all of that, and now I'm going to get into a story time. Here's another disclaimer in this story time. This story is from 2018. So it's going to involve a bunch of revelry and debauchery that I used to get into as a heathen, if you will. So I am not promoting any of the behavior that I was engaging in this story either. I'm not promoting any of the sinful activities that I talk about in this story. This is something that I was doing in 2018, but it's all a part of the story, and it all helps wrap up this entire review, if you will. So now for the story time. Alright, so in 2018, I'm from New Orleans. They have this festival called Voodoo Fest in New Orleans, right? And Childish Gambino was the headliner. I like Childish, but I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't trying to go see Childish Gambino. But last minute, before the festival, my homie tells me, yo fam, guess who just replaced Childish? I'm like, who? Travis. And I'm like, oh snap, it's lit, let's go. Man, I'm at work, I run home, boom, on the internet, boom, bought some tickets, boom, get them tickets, we lit. Tomorrow we going to Voodoo Fest. I'm excited, I'm geeked, and we going. So I went to the festival with a buddy of mine, and for this video, and I might not even end up saying his name, but if I do, we'll use his name as Joe for this video. And he was coming with me too. So we're all excited and we're going to see Travis. Now, this is the part of the video where I have to say I don't promote any of this activity that I was in, but I want to be honest and tell y'all the truth, and it all makes the story make more sense. So here it is. I used to party like a lot. So before the festival culture, I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get me some LSD, and I'm gonna get me some ecstasy. I'm gonna get some LSD. I'm gonna get some ecstasy. And my plan was, to what I used to, in festival culture, they call this candy flipping. And what you do when you candy flip is you take LSD, and LSD has a long time lapse, so it's like it takes like 4 hours or something for it to like really kick in, 5 hours for you to be peaking on the LSD and peaking in the experience. Whereas ecstasy peaks in like 30 minutes or so. So what you do is you take the LSD and then 5 hours later, when you're kind of peaking on the LSD, you take the ecstasy, and now you are in this trippy psychedelic experience that is brought upon by the LSD, but you're also geeking and high serotonin and super duper happy feelings by the ecstasy. You're in ecstasy. So you mix that together, and now you're in trippy, happy wonderland, and it's a crazy experience. So I had this down to a science, right? I was gonna take the LSD before the show, like during the show, and like kind of during the day, and watch the other artists. And then right before Travis came on, when I'm peaking on the LSD, I'm gonna take the ecstasy, and then we gonna get lit. So that was my whole plan. Had it down to a science, right? Not promoting this. So me and the homie we go to the show, and everything's going. The plan is going off without a hitch. The plan is going off without a hitch. Take the LSD. I'm walking around. I got the homie with me. I got the other homie with me. We walking around watching the artists. I think Janelle Monáe played, Ty Dolla $ign, Lizzo. I think I saw Lizzo before she even blew up. And it's bright, it's sunny, not a cloud in the sky. Having a great time, right? And I am tripping. So we continue on, and then the night goes on, and then everybody's like, okay, Travis is about to go on. So I'm like, all right, it's time. I'm about to take the ecstasy, right? Boom. Take the ecstasy. Now, my friend that's with me, he says, my friend who was with me, earlier in the day, he had took ecstasy already, right? And if you know anything about ecstasy, I'm not promoting this, but if you know anything about ecstasy, what it does is you go up and you have high serotonin, it geeks you up, and now you jigging in the club like boosting them. And then afterwards you come down, and you have a come down in which all those you drain yourself of all of those happy emotions or whatever. And if you know anything about LSD, you go into this trippy, psychedelic, almost spiritual experience where you can kind of feel energies and stuff like this. This is a bad conceptualization, but that's the gist of what it is. You feel things extra, you see things, and it's almost like a spiritual experience, pseudo-spiritual experience or whatever. So all that matters, because my homie had took the ecstasy earlier in the day, right? So now because I got it down to a science, when I take the ecstasy, the homie asked me, yo fam, let me get some of the LSD. And I'm like, no. It's like, come on, son, you being cheeky. Let me get some of the LSD. nah, nah. He's like, man, you tripping. Let me get some. Let me get some. And I'm like, you don't want to do that. I'm like, didn't you take the ecstasy earlier? It's like, yeah, you don't want to do that. Man, stop tripping, son. Let me get some of the LSD. And he keeps bugging me. So I'm like, I don't want to do it, but I'm like, all right, boom. There you go. Take it. So he takes that after being on ecstasy earlier. Takes the LSD. That's going up. Now, I just take the X pill. Not promoting. We go to Travis comes on. And I'm having a great time. I'm having a fantastic time. It's lit. He's playing all the slappers. He's playing the bangers. He's going in. Everybody's turned. Everybody's jumping up and down and raging. And I'm peaking. And I'm having a great time. And everything's awesome. It's lit. Fun times. I look over at my partner. my partner on the side like, and I'm like, what's wrong, son? Ain't it lit? Needless to say, he's not having a very good time at this point. So now he's tripping, but he's also coming down on ecstasy, so he's not being forced into this happy experience, but in fact he's coming down from the happy experience while going up into this psychedelic, extra introspective, spiritual experience in the midst of this large crowd while Travis is performing, right? And he just is looking around. He's clearly not having a good time. So, fast forward. The show is over, right? And the homie, we're leaving, right? We're leaving the festival. And the homie he's not having a good time. And I'm like, what's the matter, son? What's going on? And then he's like, you're one of them. And then he like runs off into the night. The homie runs off into the night. I'm geeking, so I'm just like, what? Where did he go? Why did he run away? Whatever, he's just having a good time. So I go home, and then later on in the night, with the other homie, and we get a call from the hospital, right? I'm only smiling because all is well that ends well. Everything is fine. Everybody's fine. And I don't promote any of this. So the homie, I get a call from the hospital, and the hospital is like, all right, y'all got to come get this guy. He's tripping. Da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, all right, we're going to come. So we go get him. So we go to the hospital. And actually, before I'm kind of trying to make the story cool, but before, he said something to me before he ran off into the night, to the degree of, we were in the rapture. Now this is where the story comes together. We were in the rapture, and Travis was performing some sort of seance on the crowd, and we were in hell. This is what he said, and this is in 2018. So we go to the hospital, and we go to get him, and we walk in, and we're like, yo, what's going on? Where's the homie? and the nurse was like, he's in there. What's going on? What happened? And we're like, man, we went to go see Travis Scott. It was lit. But he said that we were apparently in the rapture. And the nurse is like, oh, no. Y'all are supposed to be having a good time. And I'm like, that's what I thought. But anyway, we go in the hospital room, and bro's like tripping. They got him hooked up. Happens to the best of us, so no judging, and I don't promote any of this. So he's in there, he's hooked up, and we're like, yo, what happened? He said, the doctor's basically like, man, get him out of my office. And I'm like, all right, come on, we're going home. And we get him out of there. And then, everybody sobers up, and it's the next day, and we're chilling. And he says, he goes on to expound on the experience, and he basically told us that we were in hell, and Travis was like some grand wizard conducting a seance on everyone, and we were all in hell, and it was the rapture, and we were stuck. And he said that he would look around, and he was being told that he could be this, he could have also be in the position of this grand wizard in a sort of sort of like an experience where he feels like he's being given the opportunity to sell his soul in a certain way when he's looking up at the stage and the lights and everything. But then when he would turn, he would see like a girl dressed up as like Satan and stuff like this. And like it would all be very quick. If you know anything about psychedelics, you understand what I'm talking about. He said that he would look up at Travis, and he's being offered the opportunity to be this type of individual, sell your soul or whatever. And then as soon as he would turn around, he sees the devil. And then he would look that way, and some guy's shirt says hell. And then he would look up, and then that's why he started to freak out. So that's the story of 2018. And this is before I was like super duper, my eyes was open, so I thought it was just like whatever, I wasn't thinking too much about it. This is all important, clearly, because fast forward to 2021, and we have Travis Scott's Astroworld 2021, in which 8 people suffocated to death. Condolences to them and their families, in a tragic, raging stampede of a concert in which everyone claims that the only thing that they can liken the experience to was hell. And I'm sitting there watching the news coverage of this, and I'm like, and I'm talking to the homie, he's like, you see, I told you. And I'm like, dang, dog, come on, Trav, dang. What you sacrificing the homies for? What you doing? And that sucked. If you looked at any of the stuff, the symbolism of everything, all of that eye stuff, all that stuff is real. I'm not trying to turn this into no conspiracy channel where we talk about the Illuminati all day, but that stuff is real. You don't have to believe me or not. And all of the symbolism that went in it, the portal, the eye in the background, the fire, and the homie can attest to the fact that even before this experience, or before 2021 Astroworld, he had experienced what he would say these individuals experienced. That Travis was conducting a concert that was ritualistic and vibrated on the frequency of some sort of hellish experience. And the concert in 2021 just so happened to be like just the worst possible time he has done this. You know what I mean? But he does this, So that was the story time. I don't condone any of my behavior back in the day, and I don't condone listening to Travis's album. But now I want to give sort of my review of the album. And I'll say this. People are acting like they forgot about the whole Astroworld thing. People act like that didn't happen at all. And that's to be expected. People don't really care about stuff like this. They just want to continuously be fed product and entertainment and content, and consume, 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 and they were just waiting on some new music. So, but I listened to the album. This is there's some very concerning lyrics in this album, all over it, that point to this truth. It's not like this is some secret thing. Most people are aware of this. A lot of people just simply don't care. But I wanted to point out some of the things that I noticed. The first thing that I noticed was, Rap Genius and a lot of the lyrics claim that the words are hail, 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 Hail. But when I listened to the album, it sounded to me that in the first 20 seconds of this album, Travis Scott was auto-tune crooning about hell. And I'm like, what's going on? Why is he doing that? Well, we know why he's doing that. And then, like, in the first verse of that same song, the intro, he's like, I'm driving through hell, and I done brought snow. You know, people just kind of ignore all of this stuff, but, you know, that's kind of what people do. And then there's a bunch of other questionable lyrics on this album as well. My internet's acting kind of slow. But there's other questionable lyrics on here. The ones that I can think of off the top of my mind. And I could be reaching. I'm sure that a bunch of Travis Scott fans might find this and say, you're reaching. Whatever, fam. Go listen to it. Do what you want. But I know that in one song, he says, on the song with Drake, first of all, Drake says, I know that you act like you like this American-ish, but really the truth is you're scared of the six. You're scared of the six. You're scared of the six. And he says it 3 times. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but that was one. Not too long after that, Travis says something to the degree of, he says something with heaven. They think I'm satanic. So he's just kind of like teasing people like that, like they're complete assholes, if you ask me. Assholes, bro. Like, to say that they're really on this type of time, that's crazy how they just play with all of these people and stuff like that. But I'm no angel because I listened to the album, you know. There's another line in which he says, we get it jumping. When I get it jumping, I make it hard to breathe. A lot of people pointed that to the whole fact that those people passed away at Astroworld because they couldn't breathe. There's some more lines on here that's crazy. Like, he says, like, a diva and a devel. So he has a bunch of lines that basically point to the fact that he's not this man of God that he so condescendingly stated in the Charlemagne interview after this whole thing happened. It's very clear what type of time Travis is on. And that sucks. But now, there was a line in one of these songs with SZA that I don't think people even caught in regards to this whole like satanic stuff. But he said, might as well turn up now. He gonna pop up unannounced to the trumpets. Do you like the way it sounds? I heard that and I was like, dang, bro is talking about the Lord. He's talking about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Yahushua HaMashiach. Now he's going to pop up unannounced, and how all of these heathens might as well turn up now because he's going to pop up unannounced to the trumpets. And do you like the way it sounds? And I don't think a lot of people caught that lyric. But I haven't seen too many people dissecting this on this type of time where they're, you know, bringing it back to the whole satanic thing. Everybody just acts like that didn't happen. So I'm reviewing it. Another crazy thing is I'm from New Orleans. Like a up and coming, well, not up and coming anymore, but like one of the new rappers from out of here, Rob 49, is on this album. That was crazy. to hear. There's not really much to talk about. I mean, from a secular perspective, I'm just, and look, I try, this channel is, I'm still working out what this channel is going to be. I am a Christian. I try to be a Christian. I've been a Christian for a year and a half. I'm trying to learn how to be a good Christian, do this YouTube channel. I want to be honest in different areas and talk about different things. From a secular perspective, I personally enjoyed the album. I was in the gym getting lit to it. I know that you shouldn't do that because albums, music has frequencies and signals that it feeds into your ear gates, and it's not good or conducive to living a holy, righteous, and God-fearing life. So I do not promote this album for anybody, especially any Christians. However, I did listen to it, so all the people that may be listening for actual review, I personally kind of enjoyed it. So I'm just being honest. So I think that's it. So, I mean, to wrap up everything, I like to do a little synopsis towards the end of these things just to mentally make sure I said everything that I wanted to say. Intro, I did a disclaimer. Don't listen to this album. Another disclaimer, don't do drugs. Another disclaimer, no, that was it. Story time, the homie said that in 2018 he saw that Travis Scott was performing seances and rituals and that we were in hell, concert from hell. That was foreshadowing to the 2021 Astro World tragedy in which Satan basically just freaking showed his hand, and everybody stated that this was for sure the concert from hell. So this is true. The lyrics in the album point to the fact that he is actually on this type of time, and he's not very hiding it. He's actually condescendingly playing with it, and people that aren't aware of this stuff, and people don't care. So I do believe that's it for my Travis Scott Utopia review. Let me know what you guys think. Did you like the album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? And if y'all want, man, drop a comment, man. Let's have a conversation. What did you think of Utopia? What do you think about this satanic ritual stuff? What do you think about the Illuminati? Do you think it's real? And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah. This is Ryan Lee, the Aspiring Saint. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, keep up with your boy, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.